What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant, and we got to talk about this 2024 Heisman Trophy race. As Travis Hunter, the two-way star from the Colorado Buffaloes, took the award in an impressive fashion. You know what he was able to do over the course of this season, over the course of his collegiate career, actually, was nothing less than impressive. But was it Heisman? Was it Heisman, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think so. And that's what we're going to talk about. Because Ashton Jeanty just did something that hasn't been done in over 3.5 decades. Ashton Jeanty, perhaps, just put up the second best collegiate season as a running back. And what people don't understand, as the running back, everybody is on your head. Once the running back touches the ball, everybody is on your head. And Ashton Jeanty was able to make history, even with that stigma on him. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. And ladies and sports fans and gentlemen, yeah, man, I cannot, I'm sorry. I've debated a number of people about this, and do forget a voice, y'all. We over the code. I've just been I talk a lot for my job, so my voice be coming and going. I got my tea going right now. So, but yeah, man, I love Travis Hunter, man. I think he's a great guy. I think that again, what he was able to do on this football field during his college career was nothing short of impressive. But when I'm weighing up, you know, greatness, when I'm weighing accomplishments, when I'm weighing the film, I just see Ashton Jeanty as more dominant and as more impressive. All right. And we're also talking about Ashton Jeanty going to a small program. You know, at Boise State is not no Georgia, or it's not a Texas or Oregon. It's nothing. It's none of those. It's a pretty popular collegiate program, mostly because of its very peculiar football field, being the only one, especially the only one I've ever seen with the blue. But um, yeah, man, when you talk about what he was able to do, you know, and the fact of the matter, again, like I said in the intro, that the running back, unlike, you know, with Travis Hunter being a wide receiver and a cornerback, respectfully, when you're a running back, all eyes are on you, man. And the thing that I was the most impressed about with Ashton Jeanty is that I remember seeing that game versus Boise State in Oregon, man. And Oregon had their whole team blitzing the entire. I ain't gonna say the entire game, but for about 80% of that game, they were trying to stop Ashton Jeanty and nobody else, and they still couldn't. You know, and that wasn't just Oregon. You know, as impressive as they have been, that was the entire anybody that went up against Boise State this year. And I've had some folks tell me that, you know, the Mountain West Conference isn't as competitive, blah, blah, blah. I would argue that the Big 12 and the Mountain West Conference are about the same. You know, as much as we can say the SEC and the Big 10, which are both, you know, probably the cream of the crop when it comes to the Power 5. And it's kind of hard, you know, because one year the Big 10 is really doing their thing between Ohio State and Michigan and all those guys. And then another year you got SEC, Georgia, Alabama, LSU. You know, you got those guys rolling. So those two conferences are the cream of the crop. But then you got, you know, the lower conferences, some of the conferences that don't boast as much talent, as boast as, you know, as popular of a program. I would say the Mountain West and the Big 12 are in the same category, the same way the SEC and the Big 10 are in the same category. So, respectfully, you know what I mean? I can't go with the whole Travis Hunter faced stiffer competition. We also got to mention the fact that every time the Colorado Buffaloes, now this isn't an indictment on this isn't an indictment on Travis Hunter individually, but every time the Colorado Buffaloes in these last 2-3 years, whenever Deion Sanders and Shador and Shiloh and Travis got there, these last two seasons, every game, man, outside of that first game with TCU, maybe, you know, that TCU team was coming off of a championship appearance, I believe. but it wasn't the same program by any means, losing a lot of guys to the NFL. Maybe that game, maybe a Nebraska game last year, that they shocked the world and was able to win. The Colorado Buffaloes, every primetime game where, it was essentially they had an even match or they faced a little bit better competition, they lost. And most of those games, they got blown out, let's be frank. Um, but, I say that to say this. When you're talking about these two gentlemen, they're both great. I think that this was a marginal race. Now, just going off the numbers, Travis Hunter, he was able to put up 1,152 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns, 31 as a receiver, excuse me, 1,152 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns as a receiver. We all know he was playing both sides of the football. So as a cornerback, he was able to get 31 tackles, 11 pass blocks, and 4 interceptions, which is impressive. And then when you really consider that Travis Hunter's two-way season was better than Charles Woodson's two-way season. Charles Woodson was the last two-way star to win the Heisman Trophy in 2000 and no, not 2000, 1997. Charles Woodson. And in that year, Charles Woodson put up 231 yards and 4 touchdowns as a receiver, while also putting up 47 total tackles, 5 pass blocks, and 7 interceptions. So, of course, Charles Woodson's numbers from his Heisman season wasn't as impressive. We also got to consider that he was playing in the Big Ten. Was Michigan? He was playing at Michigan. I'm not positively sure if Michigan was in the Big Ten at that point, because I know the conferences, especially the power conferences, have shifted a bit over the years. But nonetheless, you got to consider Michigan has always been one of those programs, especially going up against the Ohio States of the world. They've always been one of those programs that has some stiffer competition. So naturally, I don't think that Charles Woodson's numbers would be as gaudy as Travis Hunter's, considering Travis Hunter played in the Big 12 against, uh, teams that were a bit inferior than the teams that Charles Woodson faced. And there's no knock on them. This whole era is a little bit inferior, considering the fact that it's a little bit more offensive happy, more so in the professional ranks. But the same rules apply for college. So we all know that. But for Ashton Genty, he had 2,400 yards, 2,497 rushing yards, 29 touchdowns, and ladies and gentlemen, 7.3 yards per carry. So if you gave Travis Hunter, if you gave Ashton Genty the ball 2 times back to back, you were guaranteed not a touchdown, a first down, considering that this guy had the the highest yards per carry this season. His rushing total was also the 4th highest in FBS history, putting him 131 yards behind Barry Sanders. In 1988, Barry Sanders in 11 games was able to accomplish the rushing yard. He became the leading rusher in collegiate history. So, again, Ashton Genty was able to put up numbers that we haven't seen in over 3.5 decades. And again, I think people forget how many great running backs have come through college football. We're not even talking about the ones that made it to the league. We're just talking about phenomenal running backs who weren't able to put up the numbers, who had systems that was built all around them. Let's be honest. Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, I could think of a number of guys. Those are just the two that bounce off the top of my head. But I could think of another guys who had programs built around them, and they weren't able to accomplish what Ashton Genty was able to accomplish. And they were in better programs with more, let's be frank, quality players. Again, what Ashton Genty was able to do was in a smaller program. Not only that, this man single-handedly rushed the Boise State Broncos, into the college football playoffs. I don't see Coach Prime, Shador Sanders, or Travis Hunter anywhere near the college football playoffs. In fact, they're playing for a Tier 2 bowl, whilst the Boise State Broncos are the number 4 seed with a first-round bye in the college football playoffs. The first for the inaugural first the inaugural college football playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. May we throw that out there as well. This is history that we're seeing right now. Whoever wins this particular college football playoff tournament will go down as the first one to ever do it. And I love this college football playoff, tournament. I like the whole conceptualization behind it because it gives more. It gives a lot more programs and teams and schools an opportunity to not only win a championship but put their names out in a bigger light. I mean, I think Arizona State is getting a lot of shine. Iowa State is getting a lot of shine. Not that these college programs didn't before, but you know. For how long did we always see Alabama in the mix and Clemson in the mix? It's kind of cool to see these other schools getting shine. And me personally, I just moved to Idaho, and at the beginning of this collegiate football season, so it's been even more joyful for me to be in Idaho, right down the street from the Boise State Broncos, and seeing Ashton Jeanty put up the season that he's put up, seeing that the Boise State Broncos put up the season that they've put up. It's been impressive, man. But again, you got the Boise State Broncos first round bye in the inaugural college football playoffs, and this is all because of Ashton Jeanty. I don't think these guys would be anywhere near the college football playoffs if it wasn't for number 2 in blue. So, and that's just me speaking respectfully. And I'm kind of just going down my thought process as far as this Heisman stuff goes, ladies and gentlemen, because again, I do truly feel like Travis Hunter is a special player, but I would not put that I wouldn't how can I say this? I wouldn't equate his his specialness, I guess you could say, to collegiate greatness. All right, when we're talking about the best to ever do it, I wouldn't equate those two. I think that what Travis Hunter has done has been cool for video games. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but when we're talking about actually the nooks and crannies, um, we got to talk about who's winning. Sports is all about who's winning and who's winning championships. Boise State Broncos are also the Mountain West Conference champions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Colorado Buffaloes are not the the Big 12 champions. They didn't even make it to the championship game because they lost to 2 Big 12 teams this season. Two big crucial games for their playoff implications. And one of them, they lost late. They were still in the mix. So I think they lost to Kansas late in this season. So, again, man, maybe we can even blame it on the media because I seen the media really campaigning for Travis Hunter, but I just didn't think that was enough. I thought that Ashton Jeanty did enough to at least walk away with the Heisman Award. But it is what it is, man. Travis Hunter is your 2024 Heisman Trophy winner. Me personally, this kind of devalues the Heisman a little bit, much like the NFL MVP. It's the same, and the NBA MVP too. All the same thing, man. It's now become a media popularity contest. Whoever's getting talked about in the media the most is probably end up going to win. It's probably going to end up winning the Heisman. It's the same thing with the NBA. It's the same thing with the NFL, man. So, whoever is the best player of the year, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to my world. We would not see the best player of the year win the award any longer. It's going to be about whoever the more popular player, and hopefully whoever the more popular player is the best player, so we won't have this bit of confusion in the future. But that's all I got for y'all on this video. Please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Sorry, y'all. Got an email. Please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always interested to hear what you all have to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Thank y'all for the support. Peace.